Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. We are meeting after, I think, a month maybe, or 3-4 weeks after my travel to India. It was a wonderful yatra, so I will share about it sometime. Okay, let us continue our Srimad Bhagavatam reading. So let me share my screen and we will start with Mangalacharan. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु
श्रीपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान्
श्रीराम
जातं सहगणवितं सजीवं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री
कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा
विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी
नामिने तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Hare Krishna. So let us start from here. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vyāsadeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes.
All right. Then we can recite the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratas chatheshvabhigyah swarat tene brahma hridayadi kavaye muhyanti yat suraya te vinimayo
Dhamna Sena Sada Nirastakokam Satyam Param Dhimahi.
Let us also recite the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will share this screen. So our obeisances to Sri Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj and Sri Suta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishis. Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Mudirayet
Tato
Mudirayet
Shubhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Tyam Bhagavat Sevaya
Nityam
Nityam
Bhagavata
Bhagavat Sevaya
Pati Uttamah Shloke
Bhagavatuttam Shloke
Tir Bhavati Naishtaki
Bhaktim Bhavati Vainastiki
Aya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Dagopakumaraya
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Okay, so now we will start our discussion. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so I will share my screen. We were on Canto 1, Chapter 5, and we had a very, very important discussion last time before we left, if you remember where we left. So we left somewhere in the middle of Chapter 5. So basically, we completed till verse number 31, 30 or 31. Let me see. Yeah, till verse number 31. So before that, there was a very important discussion that occurred from 23 onwards. Let us see. So let me share my screen here. Okay. Hopefully you can see the screen. Are you able to see the screen here of the iPad? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nice. So several points, very important points were covered from, so just a quick recap. So Nārada Muni is describing his past life to Vyāsadeva, and he is describing the entire process of bhakti. So from verse number 23 to 28, these are very important verses that we had covered. And very quickly, I will just summarize for you. So Nārada Muni started off by saying that he had a very, very, so we will not go through the all the Sanskrit, but just capture some of the important points of the verse. That he had a very simple birth. So here he was the son of a maidservant, and he was engaged in the service of the Brahmanas. So those Brahmanas had arrived at the ashram where the maidservant was living during the rainy season. So those rishis or those sages came and stayed there for 4 months. During those 4 months, he served those Brahmanas. And he also, it is written, I was engaged in their personal service. So he was doing a lot of seva as a young boy. Then the next thing which is covered in the next verse is the nature of the small boy, the qualities of a small boy of Nārada Muni, that he was very, very cultured. So many things we covered his characteristics. He was attentive in hearing. He was calm and sober. He was no sports. Sports doesn't mean that he would not play any sports as a young boy or play with, have a child life. But sports means basically not a very rowdy kind of a behavior with a lot of, just focusing on the externals. He was focused on internals, not talkative, seva. He had seva attitude and he was very obedient to the adults. So these were some of the characteristics of the young boy, Nārada Muni, as he was explaining. So even as adults, we are all like small children in today's age. We are no better than small children, always inattentive. Our attention span is very small. We get triggered by the smallest things. Like a child, if you tell him one thing, he will start crying. We are also like that. Somebody says one small thing and we get triggered. So we should try to develop these qualities as well, which are helpful in receiving the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then in this next verse, he starts describing the process of the purification of the heart, which is basically that he heard very carefully. So, where is that? Yeah. Yeah, that will come in the next verse actually. So here, one of the things that is said is that he uchishta lepan. So he would eat the remnants of those rishis that were residing there. And in that way, that was one of the things that purified his heart. Then the next verse is all about hearing. So this is about hearing. And hearing how? Hearing attentively. So here we can see so many things, that every word, something that padam, anupadam. So anupadam means every pada of everything that they were saying, every verse, every line of every verse. Pada means line of a verse. So every line he would hear carefully. Then anu aham Krishna katha pragayatam. So Krishna katha was being said by those sages and he would hear every word of it. And anu means regularly, without missing. So regularly or daily he was hearing Krishna katha from them. So every word, and then with shraddha he was hearing trat shraddhaya, with shraddha continuously Krishna katha, and he was hearing it from the mouth of the pure devotees. So like this, he was hearing Krishna katha every single day. And yes, and then the result was that tad dharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Wait, which verse is this? 25. Oh, so in the previous verse it is said that tad dharma evatma ruchi prajayate, and then like this, he developed ruchi in his heart for Krishna katha. So, and actually that is described here in the 27th verse as well, that yes, here it is described. Then I got ruchi. Tasmin stada labdha rucher mahamate. So you can see here labdha ruchi. Labdha ruchi means he received labdha, or it means he gained ruchi for Krishna katha. So by continuously hearing Krishna katha attentively from the mouth of these pure devotees, he developed ruchi. And that ruchi is the biggest thing. Once one develops taste for hearing Krishna katha, then you are on autopilot. Then no, you don't need any push. You don't need to force yourself. You are on, it is like, today we are having ruchi for watching Netflix or ruchi for whatever, scrolling on the phone. Like that, one will develop ruchi for Krishna katha. Then nobody needs to tell you to do those things. So that is very important. So he developed ruchi like this. And what is it? Skhalita matir mama. So Priya Shravasya Askhalita Matir Mama. So on this Katha of Krishna, Askhalita means without deviating, without Skhalita means slipping, but here the meaning is without slipping or without deviating from it, without taking any break from it. One develops, the mind gets attached to Krishna Katha. So Krishna is firmly situated in the mind once the Ruchi is there. So all this was described, and then the last verse is a summary, is to continue to do continuous Shravana from great devotees. So one should, these great sages constantly chant the related glories of Lord Hari, and thus all his anarthas were removed, and he got great attraction to hearing Krishna Katha. So this is what was described. This is one part of his life that was described when the sages were present. In the 6th chapter, today we plan to complete 5th chapter and potentially start 6th chapter. Then it will be described, Nārada Muni will describe what he does after the sages leave the ashram, after they have left the ashram. Okay, so let us start today's class. Today's class is also very important. 32nd verse. So a lot of this is from 31st verse. So let me make a copy of this. How to add page. Okay, yes. So 32nd verse. All right. So we will start from here. Okay. So in the 31st verse, it was said that like this, one receives confidential knowledge. And please pay attention here. Yena gachanti tat padam. Okay. Yena gachanti tat padam. That means this confidential knowledge that one receives, which was described in the previous verse somewhere. Yeah. Jnanam guhyatamam yat tat. So he received this confidential knowledge, guhyatama knowledge from these sages. And the confidential knowledge was to do what? Yena gachanti tat padam. It takes one to the feet of the Lord. Tat padam means, pada means feet, tat means to the feet of the Lord's feet. So now from 32nd verse, that confidential knowledge will be described. Okay. That can take one to where? Lord Krishna's feet. Okay. So this will be described. So this is the knowledge that he received from the sages before they left on how to reach the Lord's feet. Okay. Now it is not much different from what I was already told, obviously, which is to hear Krishna Katha with a very, very attentive mind. And then one develops ruchi or attachment to the Krishna Katha of the Lord. And like this, one makes progress. So that is the summary, but this is the actual message that he received from these sages before they left. That confidential knowledge is being described. All right. So let us see this confidential knowledge of how to reach the Lord's feet. Okay. So whoever wants to reach the Lord's feet, please pay attention. So then we start with this verse. Okay. So, and then we will pay attention, please. All this, it's a 4 steps. We will discuss 4-step process. So we will summarize at the end these 4 steps. So I will ask you, you can help to, share these 4 steps. So please try to remember the 4-step process. Okay, very straightforward, no rocket science, but still, or no rocket science for you all. You have all studied Bhagavad Gita and you have been studying Bhagavatam. So for you all, it's not rocket science, but for outside people, it is definitely rocket science. Okay. Etat samsuchitam brahmas tapatraya chikitsitam tapatraya chikitsitam yad ishvare bhagavati karma brahmani bhavitam. So what is the meaning? That etat samsuchitam brahmas, that it has been indicated. Brahmas means my dear Brahmana. So Nārada Muni is giving this instruction to Maharshi Vyas, that how to reach the Lord's feet, because he is telling what he received from the sages. What Nārada Muni received from the sages, he is communicating it to Vyasji. So Brahman, this is referring to Vyasji. So this is what he samsuchitam means, the sages suchit. He informed, the sages told this to Nārada Muni. Tapatraya chikitsitam. The traya means the three. Tapa means the miseries. So what are the three miseries? Adhyatmik, adhibhautik, and adhidaivik. These are the three miseries. Miseries caused by one's own mind. Miseries caused by, that is adhyatmik. Miseries caused by other people or other living entities like adhibhautik. And adhidaivik means natural miseries, natural calamities. So these are the three types of miseries, which can be all miseries can be generally broadly categorized in these three areas. But anyway, tapatraya means all the miseries. Chikitsitam means the remedy. So he says here is the remedy for all miseries. That yad ishvare bhagavati, unto the Supreme Lord, karma brahmani bhavitam, surrender all the activities unto the Supreme Lord. So basically, whatever activities and results, karma means the activity that you do or the action. Karma also means the result that you produce. You produce karma, isn't it? We say, you will get bad karma or you will get good karma. So karma has a dual meaning, the activity that you do plus the result that it generates. So what do? You dovetail it or you offer it to the Lord. So that is the first step, is to offer our actions and the results of the actions to the Supreme Lord. Okay. So let's see if we'll go, for those who have turned on camera, I'll request to read the translation. All right. So Surya Prabhu, you are first on my screen. Please read the translation.
O Brahmana Vyāsadeva, it is decided by the learned that the best remedial measure for removing all trouble and miseries is to dedicate one's activities to the service of the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead.
Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna.
Yeah. So that is the meaning of this verse. So the first step is to offer the results or the activities and the results to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Okay. So which Bhagavad Gita verse comes to mind? All the Bhakti Shastri students?
Sarvadharman parityajya.
Dharman parityaja mamekam saranam.
No. That is taking shelter of the Lord. How is that equivalent to this?
That's Ashnashi,
Yeah,
GOC,
that's Karuna.
that one.
Whatever you do,
You do whatever you, offer it to.
So what is the Sanskrit? And which chapter?
Yat karoshi yat karoshi yat joshi dadasi yat.
Which chapter it is?
I think ninth
chapter, maybe.
Yes, maybe, not maybe. Yes. Ninth chapter and verse number. That is why it used to ask in the test.
I think 26, I think. 26.
Huh?
Yeah. 27.
27.
Very nice. Okay. That is correct. Even if you say 26, it's okay. At least when you open the book, if you don't see 26, at least you will see it as the next one. So it's not 5 or 10. If you say 26, 27, 28, whatever, somewhere in that vicinity. At least you need to, I mean, it's better to remember the exact number. Okay, so these are the benefits of remembering the verse, the chapter, the verse number, all these things. You can open it up, you can read the purport. If you want to share it with others, you can open the book and show them that you are not making up the verse. You can, convince other people of the, our Bhagavad Gita and the Jnana in Bhagavad Gita. All right. So this is just a continuation of the same concept. So to offer the activities to the Lord. Activities to the Lord. So very nice verse. Nārada Muni continues with, and he says that Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadeva hamyayam dravyam na punati chikitsitam. So what he's saying is Amayo yascha bhutanam, that whatever disease, amayam means disease. So a body has many types of disease. So the living being, bhutanam, or the living entity, has so many types of disease. Jayate yena suvrata, that they arise due to some reason. Jayate yena. So that disease is caused by eating, let us say, something. You ate something and it caused a certain disease. Some people are allergic to something, and when you eat that something that you are allergic to, you get that disease, or you get that ailment. Then he says, Tad eva hi amayam dravyam. That same thing, when used, or which gives rise to that disease, you use it as a dravyam. That same thing. Okay, but as a dravya. As a dravya means with some modification. Or you can say that as a medicine. Na punati chikitsitam. Does it not cure? It's like a rhetorical question. Does it not cure the disease? So many things are, so many diseases. This is an Ayurvedic principle that, let us say, if you get a disease by eating a lot of yogurt, then the remedy is to eat the same yogurt, but in less quantity. Okay, but you still eat the yogurt. So yogurt, the disease caused by yogurt is cured by eating the yogurt, but in a moderate quantity as a medicine. But it is the same thing that caused the disease. So what is being tried to say here is that those activities in the previous verse, right? All these activities, yat karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tad kurushva madarpanam. So all these activities and their results are the one that bind us. Activities and karma binds us, right? Karma bandhana. But when you do mad arpanam, when you offer it to Krishna, then in the next verse, Lord Krishna says, Shubha Ashubha Phalairevam Mokshashe. What is that? What's the next word? Mokshashe. Something. You can look up 9.28. So one gets complete moksha, or one gets unbound, or one gets completely unentangled from the activity and its results. It's Shubha and Ashubha, which means pious or sinful results. So the same activity, all you are doing it is putting it in a therapeutic way, which means you are offering it to the Lord, just like a medicine. So that's the example that is being given by Moksha se karma bandhana. Yes, that's the next word. All right. So let us see. Shalu Mataji, please read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. O good soul, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing?
Yes. So basically, the point is you don't need to change what your activities are. You don't need to start doing different activities. You can do the same activities, but dovetail it to Krishna. Offer it to Krishna. That is the therapeutic change that you have to do to the activity. No need to change the activity altogether. Okay. So then 34. Again, it is a continuation of the same thought. So we are still on step 1. What is the first step? To offer our activities and the results to the Lord. Evam nrinam kriya yoga sarve samsriti hetavaha na evatma vinashaya kalpante kalpitah pare. So, what is the result of offering these activities to the Lord? Evam nrinam kriya yoga. So these activities that are done by this kriya yoga, or the activities that are done by nrinam, by the people, sarve samsriti hetavaha, that these activities cause samsriti means bondage. So if not offered to the Lord, it would have caused bondage, because it is done as some hetava. Hetava means hetu. For some result you are doing it. So that result causes bondage. Ta evatma vinashaya. Those same activities are vinashaya, or those activities and the results, that karma gets vinasha, gets destroyed. Kalpante kalpitah pare. That when they are dedicated to, kalpitah means are offered to or dedicated to, pare. Pare means the Lord. So basically that is the conclusion, that when you offer the results of the activities and the activities to the Lord, the bandhana, the entanglement gets destroyed, vinashaya. So let us see. Renuka Mataji, please read the translation. You are muted.
Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage becomes the destroyer of the tree of work. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay. So, now in the purport given by Srila Prabhupada, I just want to, since we have time, I think yes, we have time. So I want to share in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's a very important and very significant purport, which is taken from Sridhar Swami commentary. There he gives a whole sequence. So please, keep this sequence, write it down. I will write down the sequence here. You can also write it down and, try to follow this sequence. So this sequence is about one's progress in bhakti. Okay, so this is from the commentary by Srila Prabhupada and Sridhar Swami. So he says the first step is seva of Mahapurush or Mahat Purusha. Then the next step is that then one gets the kripa of the Mahats, Mahat Purushas. So first step is seva, then one gets the kripa. The third step is that then one gets Shraddha in the beliefs and activities of these Mahat Purushas. So basically, whatever they believe in, whatever are their belief systems, whatever they prioritize in their life, that starts rubbing off on you. You start imbibing those from them, their belief system, their priorities. What do they care for? What do they not care for? All that you start realizing, and you start saying, yeah, this makes sense. I will make it my own in my own life. And also out of that belief system, they perform certain activities and they avoid certain activities. Okay, so those activities you start also taking upon yourself. Okay, so Shraddha in the beliefs and the activities. That's the next step that happens. Then the fourth thing is that then one hears Bhagavat Katha from the Mahat Purushas. And this is because you see that the primary activity that they are doing in, and their primary belief system or their primary priority is themselves to do Bhagavat Shravan or Bhagavat Pathan. They will read Bhagavatam and they will speak Bhagavatam. So you make it your priority and to listen from them, because you may not be such skilled to read Bhagavatam, to understand it, which commentaries to refer, how to understand, interpret, etc., etc. So you just sit and listen from them and you start understanding to get to a point where you can start reading yourself from the book and the commentaries. So you see that their priority is Bhagavatam, you begin to make it your priority. So that is the fourth step. And then simply by this hearing of Bhagavad Katha, one develops ruchi for Bhagavan. Ruchi, or the word that is used directly by Sridhar Swami is rati, is also ruchi for Bhagavan. So here, let me underline this, hears Bhagavad Katha and then develops rati. Then the sixth step is that one gets the jnana that we are not this gross or subtle body, which means that we stop giving priority to material things. Material things as in physical, gross, okay? Oh, I did not, get more money, or, whatever, my boss didn't give me promotion, or whatever I should have, or subtle things. Subtle means man, buddhi, ahankar. So things that hurt our ahankar, we stop associating, or identifying with it. So somebody said something to us, doesn't make us feel, bad or angry anymore. So that begins to happen. Then the seventh is, this makes one's bhakti even more stronger. So the strength in one's bhakti increases. One is able to then see, this number 6 is very important. One is able to see 6 is an effect on you. It is your own sort of proof you see in your own life. 1 to 5, if you see, is things you are doing. 6 is something you can observe in your own life. So 1 is seva. Then you get kripa, but you cannot experience it. Kripa just comes. You don't feel, oh, today I got kripa, I'm feeling a little cold or I'm feeling hot. There's no such bodily feeling. You just get the kripa. Then, you start following those Mahat Purushas. Then you start hearing Bhagavad Katha. Then you start developing ruchi in Bhagavad Katha. And finally, this is the first thing you see a very, very drastic change in your own composition, in your own sort of gross and subtle body. And this is a very big confirmation that you are on the right path. Many people say, what is the confirmation that I am making progress? So the degree to which number 6 happens is a great confirmation that you are making progress. And this makes one's bhakti even stronger. And then number 8, then one gets jnana of Bhagavat Tattva. So first one got jnana of Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva means I am not this body. I am different from my gross and subtle body. That is Atma Tattva. So I can write here in blue color. I will write. Where did blue color go? Okay. Atma Tattva. And then the next one is Bhagavat Tattva. That who is Bhagavan? That is the knowledge that arises in one's heart. And then step number 9 is that divine qualities arise in the devotee. And these divine qualities means the stage of bhava. In Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu study, which we are doing on Saturday, remember we are doing the Bhakti has 3 stages: Sadhana Bhakti, then Bhava Bhakti, then Prema Bhakti. So Sadhana Bhakti is the process, the sadhan. Sadhya, if you remember, what is the sadhya? Who can tell me what is sadhya?
The one to be achieved.
And what is it?
The one to be attained.
Yes, Krishna Prema, also Bhava. Bhava is also part of sadhya. So yes, whoever said, I think Madhavi Manjari Mataji said Krishna Prema, that is correct. That's the final sadhya. Before that is also a first intermediate level sadhya, which is Bhava Bhakti. So that is the meaning of divine qualities arise in the devotee, which means the devotee advances to the stage of Bhava Bhakti. So this is the sequence, one step number 1 to 9, that is given by Sridhar Swami. And Srila Prabhupada has summarized it in his purport. Very, very nice. And please follow this sequence. It starts with seva and then starting to imbibe their qualities, primarily Bhagavat Shravan, and that develops rati or ruchi in the heart for Bhagavan. And then you see positive change in your own life arising out of Atma Jnana, and bhakti becomes stronger. Then you get Bhagavat Jnana. You understand Bhagavat Tattva. First you understand Atma Tattva, then Bhagavat Tattva, and then one attains the stage of Bhava Bhakti. So this is very nicely described by our previous acharyas. Okay, so we were all, so far, this was a slight deviation from the discussion, but we were still on step 1. What is step 1? What was step 1? Somebody who has not spoken.
Krishna
Seek a guru.
Varnamastu.
Seek a guru.
Deva to Mahat.
No, in the main discussion.
Offer our activity and their result to the Lord.
Yes, thank you very much. Offering the activities and the result to the Lord. That was okay. Then comes number 35. Next step. Okay, step 2. What is the next step? Let us discuss number 35. Yadatra kriyate karma bhagavat paritoshanam jnanam yad adhinam hi bhakti yoga samanvitam. Very beautiful verse. So what it means is that yad atra kriyate karma. That here, whatever in our life, atra means in our life, in our journey in this world, kriyate karma, whatever karma we are doing, bhagavat paritoshanam. This is the second step. So it is not just that we dovetail whatever we are doing, offer it to Krishna. Not only that, the next level, the next higher level is what? do those activities which are Bhagavat Paritoshanam. Paritoshanam means satisfying. So which
Gift.
are satisfying to the Lord. Okay. So you do activities which are pleasing to the Lord, which means you not only do, I mean, in the first step, you are doing activities which are pleasing to you, yourself, and offering it to the Lord. Second step is you stop doing activities which you like. Instead, you replace it with activities that the Lord likes. There is a change in the activity itself. So that is the second or the next level. So whatever work we do in this world, we should do for Bhagavat Paritoshanam, for the satisfaction of the Lord. Jnanam yattad adhinam hi. And then whatever knowledge that arises out of this kind of activity is subservient to Bhakti Yoga. To Bhakti Yoga of dovetailing this whatever, or doing activities that are pleasing to the Lord. So when we dovetail our activities that are pleasing to the Lord, Jnana arises out of it. And that Jnana is subservient to this Bhakti Yoga. See, in the previous case, there was some Jnana, somebody told, somebody Bhagavatam is telling you, or somebody is telling you, whatever you are doing, dovetail it to the Lord. So because of that Jnana, you are doing this dovetailing or offering to the Lord, isn't it? So first there was Jnana, and then was your action of offering to the Lord. Now, when you do activities for the pleasure of the Lord that are pleasing to the Lord, Jnana arises out of it. Some Jnana arises out of it. And that Jnana is subservient to Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Jnana will arise in your heart. Okay, then you don't need any external Jnana. Jnana will arise out of your own experiences, out of your own realizations, by choosing to do activities which are pleasing to the Lord. Now, one can ask, what are the activities which are pleasing to the Lord? So many activities the Lord has given in our Shastras that are pleasing to the Lord. And for that, we can read Bhagavatam. We can see what the devotees have done, what activities they do that are pleasing to the Lord. So we can start to do the similar activities. That is what was said in this one. We look at this was step number 3, that we look at these Mahat Purushas and we see what activities they are doing. We try to copy them, or we try to apply them or imbibe them in our own life. So those are the activities that are Bhagavat Paritoshanam. Okay, so that is the next step. All right, so let us see. Ramakant Prabhu, please read this translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. Concomitant factor.
Concomitant means a byproduct. It's not primary, but it is secondary. Okay. So when we offer, or when we do activities that are satisfying to the Lord, that are pleasing to the Lord, then Jnana becomes secondary. That is what is being said. All right. Then comes step number 3. Okay. So again, what was the first step? First level, not step, first level. What was the first level?
Do the activities and offer the results to the Lord.
Very good. What was the next level, next higher? That
Instead of doing the usual activities, do the Lord's activity, which also pleases the Lord.
Very good. That's the next level. So first was high school level understanding. Next, now you are at undergraduate level understanding. Now third level, not step. So let's call it level 3. Now this is postgraduate level understanding, next level. So what do you do? So Lord Krishna is very nicely, or Nārada Muni is very nicely explaining. Kurvana yatra karmani bhagavat shikshaya asakrit grinanti guna namani krishnasya anusmaranti cha. Okay, so what is the next level? Kurvana yatra karmani. Kurvana yatra karmani means while doing. Kurvana means while doing. Yatra karmani, these activities as in the previous verse. What are those activities? That are Bhagavat Paritoshanam, that are pleasing to the Lord. So while you are doing those activities, now Nārada Muni is saying do something else along with it. Okay, so whatever, yeah, so first of all, kurvana yatra karmani, those activities, Bhagavat shikshaya asakrit, as taught by the Lord. Because Bhagavan will teach us, isn't it? That what he likes. He will not say, you go and, become a barber, or, you go and do some mundane activity, He will say, go, teach Bhagavad Gita to others, or whatever other activities which are pleasing to the Lord. So, as per the instructions of the Lord, so yatra means, though while doing those activities as instructed by the Lord, which will be obviously Bhagavat Paritoshanam, what must you do additionally? Additionally, you must do this. Very nicely, Lord Nārada Muni is saying, Grinanti. Grinanti means one should speak or one should do kirtan. Okay? Grinanti guna namani. Guna and nama of Krishna. So chant the names of Krishna while doing those activities. So don't just do the activities which are pleasing or satisfying to the Lord. At the same time, keep taking the Lord's, do kirtan of Lord's name and his guna. And anusmaranticha. And, think of the Lord while doing those activities. So at some time, it may not be possible all the time to do kirtan. Like right now, I'm having cough. So I may not be able to do constant kirtan because I'll be coughing all the time. Then you can do smaran. So kirtana or smaran. While doing those activities. Are you understanding? So this was third level. Okay. So let us read the translation. Medha Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. While performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one constantly remembers him, his names, and his qualities. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here in the translation, Srila Prabhupada has not sort of mentioned the word grinanti. Grinanti means that one is doing the chanting of or speaking the names, the name, the guna, namani, and then doing smarana of the guna and nama of Krishna. So so that's okay. Yes, Mansi Ganga Mataji, you have raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm sorry. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you please tell, Kurvana Yatra Karmani means while doing the activities, and Bhagavat Siksas Satrit, that means as instructed by Bhagavat. Did you say that, Prabhuji?
By Bhagavan, because Bhagavan tells us what activities please him.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes. So while doing the activities, another way to translate would be while doing those activities that are, so you can say here like this, while doing those activities, then next line will be that are instructed by the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And then one should chant Grinanti, the guna plus nama, and then the fourth line of Krishna, Krishnasya, and remember also. And remember, you can say them also. Remember them means guna and nama.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
can be like a line by line translation of each pada. So pada by pada translation, you can take it like this. Okay. While doing those activities that are instructed by the Lord, one should chant the guna and nama of Krishna and remember them also. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Like this, you can understand. All right. Now you want to go to level 4?
Yes.
All right. So what can be level 4? Let us see. Try to guess. Not guess, intelligent or educated guess. So third level. So let's recap. What was the first level?
Maybe our love towards God will be cultivated, or
yeah. Okay, so there can be many answers. So let me not go into this guessing thing. Let me share what is there in the Bhagavatam. Yes, you are right. Developing the love for the Lord and so on. But we are in the, as you can see, this is clearly in the domain of very clearly the to do. It's very clear when you say develop love for the Lord. Okay, how do you develop love? Like, what do? You take a picture of the Lord and what do you do? Develop love means what? Okay, so the first 3 levels are very clearly sort of in the to do domain. So we have the next level, 4th level. Okay, level 4. And level 4 is basically stop doing the work. Okay, first level you were doing the work and then offering it to Krishna. Second level, you were doing the work which pleases Krishna. Third level was while doing that work, you were chanting Krishna's name and guna and activities and all that. 4th level is to stop doing that work and just do meditation or smarana. That is the best word, smarana, using mantra murti it is called. You meditate on the murti of the Lord. Which is that murti? No, a specific mantra. Yes, the mantra will have the name, but the entire mantra is known as, or is also called as, a murti. The mantra is a body of the Lord. Just like the Lord can take the form of a, vigraha, like Lord Ram will be, installed in Ayodhya in another two days. So that's a specific vigraha which has been made by some, according to, the Shastra. So similarly, the mantra itself, and here in this verse, a 33 syllable mantra is given. That's why it starts with Om. So by meditating on a specific mantra, and the mantra itself is the murti of Bhagavan, that is what is the 4th level. So that is, you will see the word dhimahi here. Yeah, see here, dhimahi. Dhimahi means to meditate, to do smarana of the mantra murti of the Lord. Okay, so smarana using mantra murti, that is the 4th level. So Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya Namah Sankarshanaya Cha. So this is a typical mantra. All mantras are, like this, like we say Om Namah Shivaya or Om Namah Ramaya. So here also it is Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi. I meditate on Dhimahi. In the Gayatri mantra also the word Dhimahi comes. So I meditate upon the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, or let my meditation go toward Vasudeva, Vasudevaya, and then 3 more. So Lord Krishna is surrounded by these 4 Chaturvyuha forms. It is known as Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan. So those 3 are also mentioned. Pradyumnaya, Aniruddhaya, Namaha, Sankarshanaya cha. So this whole thing is a mantra. So meditating on the mantra of Murti of Bhagavan. Okay, so that is the meaning of this verse. It's a very straightforward verse, or it's a mantra, basically one of the mantras in Bhagavatam. One more mantra has been given right in the beginning of Bhagavatam. What is that? Right before.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo
Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yes, so that is a shorter mantra. Mantra can have any number of length. This mantra is a longer one and it has 33 syllables. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya has Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it has 12 syllables. And this one has 33 syllables. Okay. All right. Okay, let us see. Makaran Prabhu, please read the translation.
Let us all chant the glories of Vasudev along with his plenary expansions, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarashana. Sankarshan.
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 Yes, Sankarshan. ठीक है, इसलिए sometimes those who are familiar with Devanagari should read in Devanagari. Then the pronunciation comes correctly. Okay. ठीक है. Mansi Ganga Mataji, you have any other question? Your hand, can I lower it?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. I'm sorry, Prabhuji.
No problem. Okay. All right, very good. All right, are you all following? So
Yes.
what is fourth level?
Just do the smarana or meditation
Smarana.
using the mantra murti.
Using the mantra.
Just doing mantra meditation.
Meditation.
Okay, then at that time you cannot do other things. While you're doing mantra meditation, you have to sit in a quiet place and do mantra like this, mantra meditation. So this is the fourth or the highest level. Okay. All right. Then the continuation, it is continuation of, like we had the continuation of level, I'll say L4, level 4. So this is Lord or Nārada Muni is saying this is the highest level. So this is the level of the, a self-realized person. He realizes that this is the highest level. Okay. So he says, iti murti abhidhanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yagya purusham sa samyak darshanah puman. So iti murti abhidhanena. So murti abhidhanena means, abhidhan means a particular form of sound. So this is the sound form. And murti means the form, and this is, so it is the form of sound. Mantra murti. So in this sound form, we form a murti of the Lord using sound. Like you can form the murti using metal or clay or paint. So similarly, you can form the murti of the Lord using another element called sound, or sound as in like even that sound can be in the mind, mental sound, not vocal sound. So mental sound, sound in the mind. You understand? Everybody can understand sound of the mind. Have you heard sound of the mind?
No.
No?
Thoughts.
Yeah, your thoughts, always we hear sound of the mind, isn't it? The mind constantly keeps doing all kind of chatter. That is the sound of the mind. So using that element called sound of the mind, we can form a murti of the Lord in the form of a mantra. So that is known as mantra murti, even though the Lord is a murtikam. A murtikam means he has no material form. Okay. Now this sound of the mind is also material, just like metal or clay is material. But we form a murti out of it. But we must understand that even though it is formed out of material elements, so this is a material element. And isn't it? Mind is material, isn't it? Man, buddhi, ahankar, these are known as material elements in addition to the 5 elements. What is that? Bhumi, Rapa, Anala, Vayu, and Akash. So those are the 5 elements plus the man, buddhi, ahankar are also material elements. So if a murti is made out of material elements, one can think that the murti is material. So it is a material element, but the Lord is not material. So amurtikam, just like a deity. Yajate yagya purusham. So one who worships yajate yagya purush. Yagya purush means Lord Vishnu, or same as Lord Krishna. So yagya purush means Lord Vishnu is known as yagya purush. So one who worships like this, sa samyak darshanah puman, that he is the perfect seer. He is the most perfect seer, darshanah puman. That means he is self-realized. Okay? So that is the highest level of of Bhakti Yoga, doing meditation on the Lord's Mantra Murti. Okay, let us see. Chandan Prabhu, can you please read?
Thus, he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who has no material form.
Okay, so translation makes sense, right? All right. So now comes the 39th and 40th verse. 39th verse is a summary. Okay, so summary is Imam Swa Nigamam Brahman Avetya Mad Anushtitam Adan Me Jnanam Aishwaryam Swasmin Bhavam Chakeshava. So the summary is that Imam Swa Nigamam Brahman, that this knowledge, Swa Nigamam, which means this Nigama, means the knowledge that is given from the Shastras, the confidential knowledge from the Vedas. My dear Brahman, my dear Vyāsadeva, Nārada Muni is telling like this. Avetya mad anushtitam. Knowing that, I executed the process of bhakti. So this knowledge that I am giving you, and knowing that it is coming out of bhakti. Remember that when you do bhakti, knowledge comes out of it, jnana comes. So he's saying, because I have done bhakti, this is the knowledge I have received by doing bhakti, which I am giving to you. Adan me jnanam aishwaryam. That next word, there will be Keshava. So the Lord, Keshava, first gave me 3 things. So the knowledge is that when you do bhakti, you get 3 things. The first thing you get is jnanam. Now it has been explained what kind of jnana, 2 kind of jnana you get. Please tell me.
That's it.
First, we'll get I am not this body, Atma Tattva and Bhagavat Tattva.
Yes, Atma Jnana and Bhagavat Jnana. Bhagavat Jnana. Very nice. So first you get Jnana. Then you get Aishwarya. Aishwarya means what?
Material opulence or subhata, auspiciousness.
Okay, material opulence, you said. How? Can you explain how we get material opulence?
External ecstasy or happiness by following the bhakti process, Prabhuji.
Okay, somebody else? How do we get Aishwarya, opulence?
Jnana.
Lakshmi Ji follows Vishnu.
The result of doing the devotional service?
Huh?
Result
Bhagavat
of
Krupa.
Bhagavat Kripa. Okay, all are correct answers. So the answer given by our acharyas is that when you stop associating any value with material objects, okay, the number of zeros in your bank account following the one, I am a millionaire or I am a billionaire, how many zeros are there? Number of zeros, you stop associating any value. You stop identifying with material success and you start identifying with spiritual success. So this Aishwarya is spiritual Aishwarya. So when you get Atma Jnana and Bhagavat Jnana, Atma Jnana means material, stop identifying with material opulence. That is Atma Jnana, isn't it? And Bhagavat Jnana is start identifying with spiritual or Bhagavan, with spiritual opulence. How close do I feel to the Lord? How attracted I feel to the Lord? That is Bhagavat Tattva. Do you really feel that Lord is, I love the Lord? How deeply you love the Lord? That depth of love is your treasure. Okay, like we say, my child is my treasure. He is the treasure of my life. We say it to our child, because we love the child so deeply. So we say he is the biggest treasure, more than the bank balance. Similarly, if we make Krishna or Bhagavan our treasure, that is opulence, spiritual opulence. So then we get Aishwarya. Okay? And then the third step is that one gets Bhava Bhakti. After that, attachment to the Lord develops and detachment from material things develop, then one gets Bhava Bhakti. So that is Jnanam, Aishwaryam, Swa Asmin. Swasmin means Bhagwan's personal bhavam is Bhava Bhakti. So Cha Keshavaha. So of Keshav of Bhagwan Krishna gives his personal Bhava Bhakti. He gives Jnana, he gives Aishwarya, and the third thing is he gives his personal Bhava Bhakti. So these are the three things one gets. How? By following the instructions of Guru. What Nārada Muni is giving to Vyāsadeva. Okay? So please, let us see. Mansiganga Mataji, you can read the translation.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna, I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord as inculcated in the confidential parts of the Vedas. Then with the spiritual opulences, and then with his intimate loving service.
All right. Now do you understand the meaning? First, with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, it is said, but it is also said as Atma Jnana. Second is first is Atma Jnana plus Bhagavat Jnana, both. So it is correct, transcendental knowledge of the Lord, but it includes Atma Jnana also. Then the second is Aishwarya. And the third is Bhava, personal Bhava of the Lord. So this is the way to achieve Bhava Bhakti. So in Nectar of Devotion class that we will do tomorrow, if you ask how to get Bhava Bhakti, today it has been mentioned 2 times. One in this, and then one in that 9-step process, which divine qualities or Bhava, you can see here, Bhava arises. So how Bhava arises, how Bhava Bhakti arises is given here. Okay. So another point to be noted here, very important point to be noted, please pay attention, is that taking initiation from Guru, you get mantra. And then getting second initiation, you get Gayatri mantra. That is known as Gayatri initiation. is very important, because that makes one eligible to do level 4. Level 1, 2, 3, you can do without initiation also. But level 4, this mantra murti initiation, it can be done when you receive the mantra. Okay, so please become serious. Don't have this feeling, oh, initiation is not needed. And complete initiation means in ISKCON, or not just in ISKCON, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj had started this tradition. He broke it up into 2 parts. First, there is actually traditionally there is nothing called first initiation or second initiation. Diksha means second initiation, what is called as second initiation. It used to be 1 plus 2 combined. Okay, so please, those who are first initiated, and I can see few devotees here who are first initiated, try to become second initiated quickly, because that is when you can do mantra murti smarana. You will be given specific mantra by the Guru, and then you can do level 4. And those who are not initiated, you must try to get initiated and quickly become second initiated. So those of you who are doing 16 rounds chanting already, try to become serious about your initiation, please. It's not, I will not get anything out of it. Okay, whether you become initiated, I'm not doing any marketing or sales. I'm just telling you for your own benefit. Please become very serious about your spiritual life. And taking initiation is not a, you are like a signing up in some, camp or some group. Now I am, a activist of this group. Nobody is trying to enroll you, or what you say, recruit you. Yeah, that's the word, recruit you into their camp. That maybe some people get that feeling, oh, I'm being recruited. I will just do my own Hare Krishna Mahamantra Jap, no need for initiation, all those things. That is wrong. I don't care if you don't want to take initiation in ISKCON, go and take it in some other Gaudiya Math, branch, but take it from a bona fide branch. Okay, ISKCON does not have monopoly on initiation. That is fine. I would recommend within ISKCON, because then we can all be in the same family. But please be serious about, become serious about your spiritual life. Okay, and I'm not trying to recruit anyone. Pick a spiritual master of your own choice. Okay, so but please become serious. It's a very serious matter. Don't think that it is a sales, marketing, recruitment. Okay, it's very serious. It's coming from Shastra. Nobody is trying to get you here. Okay, this is very serious, and by doing this, you can go to the stage of Bhava Bhakti. How great is that? Okay, so many people I'm seeing on the call who are doing 16 rounds, who are following the 4 regulative principles and all. What are you waiting for? Become serious. You know how much time we have left. And plus, it is not about initiation is not equal to Bhava Bhakti. Then you have to make progress toward it. It's like enrolling in college. It does not mean you get degree. Then you have to do 4 years of hard work. So you need a life left in your life to do that. Okay, you cannot take initiation on the day you die. You have to do it much before, so that you can practice it, and so that you can reach to the stage of bhava and prema before you die. Otherwise, next life. Okay, all right. So last verse conclusion is to describe all this knowledge, what has been given by Nārada Muni to Vyāsadeva. He is saying, please describe it in Srimad Bhagavatam. So all this in Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's what his final instruction is. Tvamapya adabra shruta vishrutam vibhoh samapyate yena vidam bubhutsitam prakhyahi dukkhair muhur ardita atmanam Sanklesha nirvanam ushantina anyatha. So the meaning is that you are very deeply learned in all the Vedas. Obviously, because by this time Vyasadeva has written all the Vedas and everything he has written. This is the last work remaining, Bhagavatam. And we had discussed it, how he was feeling incomplete and dissatisfied by, after composing all that stuff, then he was feeling dissatisfied. So he's saying, you are vastly learned in the Vedas and have heard so much about the Lord, about Vishrutam Vibho, that you have so much, learned so much, or heard so much Vishrutam Vibho of the Lord. Samapyate yena vidam bhubutsitam. So the learned people do something for those people, the learned people who want to have the desire to get this spiritual knowledge. Whatever I am telling you, there are so many people in the world who are curious, who have the desire to get that knowledge. Do something for them. Okay? So all those people who have developed some curiosity or some desire, remember 4 types of people, Chaturvidha Bhajante Mam. So 4 types of people come to Krishna. So please give them, make ready some, dish. When they come to Krishna, they must get some dish to eat. Srimad Bhagavatam is that dish. Please keep it ready so that when they come to me, out of any reason, Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Gyani, whatever reason they come to me, they should get some kheer or halwa to eat so that they will become devotees. What is that halwa? Bhagavatam. So please write Bhagavatam. That's what he's saying. Prakhyahi dukkhair muhur ardita atmanam. Please describe this knowledge, which removes, next line it will be Sanklesha Nirvanam, which will do nirvana from all the kleshas in a person's life. So please write this detailed literature called Srimad Bhagavatam, which is which removes the klesha and which describes the leelas of the Lord. Sanklesha Nirvanam Ushantina Anyatha, and there is no other way. There is absolutely nothing else which will have the same effect or which will do the job. So please write this Srimad Bhagavatam, which will describe the leelas of the Lord, and it will do nirvana of the klesha or of the miseries of the people. Okay, so let us see who would like to read the last one. Anybody else who has not read so far? Please go ahead.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Please, therefore, describe the Almighty Lord's activities which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas. For that will satisfy the hankerings of great learned men, and at the same time mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people who are always suffering from material pangs. Indeed, there is no other way to get out of such miseries. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Ushanti na anyatha. Na anyatha means like we have what is that? Harer naam eva kevalam kalau nastyeva gatir anyatha, which means other than Harir Naam, in this Kali Yuga, there is gatir anyatha, there is no other way. Similarly, Ushanti na anyatha. Other than Srimad Bhagavatam, there is nothing else which will actually relieve the miseries of the people. So that is the end of the chapter. End of chapter. Okay, so quickly, let us see. We said we will summarize. So what are the 4 levels? Level 1. One person tell level 1.
Can I tell Prabhuji?
Yes.
Yeah. Do the activity and offer the result to the Supreme Lord.
No, so offer the activity and result.
And okay, Karma Brahmani
Plus result.
Okay.
Both to Lord. Okay. You can say, Lord, I am doing this activity for you. Whatever result comes is also yours. Both activity and result is offered to the Lord. Okay. Somebody else, level 2.
Prabhuji, doing the activity for the pleasure of the Lord.
Yes. Very nice. So doing those activities that are pleasing to the Lord. Okay. And obviously offering the results, any results that come. So plus level 1 doesn't go away. Whatever results come and the activity itself, you still offer it to the Lord. You don't forget that level 1. So level 2 is level with this plus level 1. All right, level 3, what is it? Somebody else?
Always
Level
remember,
3.
whatever
Oh.
doing everything, always remember Bhagwan. Krishna.
Can you say again?
Continuous remembrance of Bhagwan
You have
and
to,
doing all the activities.
okay, you're a little more refined. Somebody else wants to give a try?
Can I say, Prabhuji?
Yes.
While doing the activities pleasing to Lord, one should also chant names and qualities of Krishna and also remember him always.
Yes. So while doing level 2, we can say, right? Chant or remember the names and glories, we can say guna as glories of the, correct? Make sense? Okay, who
Yes.
can level 4? Somebody who has not spoken, so or who has not done level 1, 2, 3.
Marana.
Mantra Kirtan.
That's already
Marana.
3.
भगवान
Marana.
के मंत्र का कीर्तन.
आप बोल सके हैं, किसी और को मौका दीजिए. Somebody else?
Yeah. Stop doing activities and do only meditation or smarana while saying a mantra.
Okay. So mantra, murti, smaran. You can put it. Okay?
Meditate.
Yeah, meditate. Dhimahi or meditation or smaran, same thing. Meditate or dhimahi. All right. Okay, so that's the summary of today's class.
L4 is not a superset of.
Yeah, I mean, when you are doing mantra murti dhyana or mantra murti, then you should not do other activities. Then you have to sit quietly in a place and do. So this is not, when you say this is not plus L3. I mean, you cannot do mantra dhyana 24/7. So you can do L3, it is plus L3, but not at the same time, not simultaneously. Okay. So for some time you should do L4 and for the remaining time you do L3. Okay. That's what it means. All right. So that is, I think we'll stop here. I had, I thought we could start chapter 6, but we will start it next time. We have no rush. If you do till chapter 5 itself, life can be perfected. Bhava Bhakti can be reached. So Bhagavatam is not that unless you reach canto 12 only, then you can, make progress in Bhakti. Bhakti progress can be made at the end of 2nd chapter itself. Lord Krishna has given everything in 2nd chapter itself. Canto 1, chapter 2. So we are way beyond that. So there is no rush to rush through Bhagavatam. How much ever we can relish and understand is good enough. Okay. Any questions or any comments, anyone? Okay. So we will see you tomorrow in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu class in Bhakti Shastri. Bhakti Shastri students, please they must be present. Others are welcome. And we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you all next week. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Bhakti ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay. I will close the call.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.